Hi everyone. Today we're going to dive into the world of exceptions in .NET and see how you correctly rethrow exceptions. And then I'll also take you through a result pattern which I use quite a lot, which is a much more concise way of returning errors from methods. So let's dive straight in. So what I've done is I've put together a simple console app just to demonstrate what happens when you rethrow exceptions incorrectly. I've got one service that I've made over here. I've got two methods in it, save data and save data correct. So if we go into the save data method, what it's doing is it's calling save to database, which has a try catch around it, and then it's throwing the exception that it catches. So if we go to the save database method, all it's doing at the moment is just throwing an exception for demonstration. And then we've got the save data correct method, which is also calling save data, but it's just using throw rather than throw x. And then all we're doing in here is catching the exception and writing it out into the console. So if I run that quickly, I'll just show you the behavioral difference between throw and throwx. So the one in red over here is when you use throwx, and what we can see in here is that it's only got two lines in the stack trace. We've got line 46, which is where we've thrown the exception, and we've got line 10 where we've called save data from. But nowhere in there do we have any reference to the save database, which is actually where the exception occurred. And then if we look at the green one, where we're just using throw, we can see we've got line 65, which is in save database over here. We've got line 54, which called that method. And then we've got line 22, where we called our service method. So you can see that it could be quite beneficial when you're doing logging. It's something I've seen quite a lot in various places. And it can certainly make your troubleshooting a lot easier if you do correctly rethrow your exceptions. Okay, cool. So what I'll show you now quickly is just the result pattern that I like to use myself. I don't really enjoy throwing exceptions. I find the result pattern a lot more concise and easier to understand. So I've written myself a library that I use quite a lot for the purpose of this. There are many other libraries like error that you can use. It's very popular. I just use my own one that I've written. So you can add that in. It's on my GitHub, so I'll pop a link to it if you want. It's over here. It's just result that match the package, and then there's a bit of examples over here, but I'll show you quickly how to use that. So then what we can do, if we go back down into here, we'll just make a copy of this method. Actually, I'll just make a copy of this one. So we'll say save data with results. I don't know why that wasn't typing. And then what we'll do over here, so this is the result. I'm just going to return a simple bool for now, but this can be any class that you want. Usually you probably would be returning some object from here. And then if we have an exception, we can just say results bool, and then there's some methods on here you can call. So you can call failure, and you can pass in an exception or an error message, and there's also validation if you want to. So it kind of handles three states: your success state, your failure state, and your validation state. But I'll just show you how to use the failure state for now. So we can return that, and then what we can do over here, I'm just going to return true for the purpose of now, just to demonstrate this. And then if we go back up to our method over here, what we can do is I'll just call my service dot save data with results. We'll get the result back, and I'll show you a few ways of using it. So on the result object, when it comes back, it has a success flag. So we can say if is success, we could do something. Otherwise, if in this case, I know it's an error, but we'll just log the error to the console quickly. So if we copy that, I'll just show you quickly. So we can go result.error.exception. And I'll just do the same for the stack trace so we can see that quickly. And then, yeah, what I'll do is I'll just change this to orange so we can differentiate it, or yellow for now, that'll be fine. If we run that, so what we can see is we've got our first one, our second one, and we've got the third one over here, which is identical to that one. We've got the same line number over here as we do over there, and we've got line 81, which is where we called the method from. So that's perfect. We just don't have the program because we haven't caught any exception here. but in terms of the error handling, that is the same, and it's a lot more concise and clear what it does, because you know that this returns a result object. Now, another way of doing this as well is to use the match method, which it has. I primarily use that when I'm doing APIs. I can show you over here quickly. So you can say result.match, and this is quite useful for APIs when you normally have a few different states you want to return. You either have your success, where you're going to be returning your 200 results. You might have an error, which is going to be your 500 bad request, or you might have some kind of validation issue, which I think is the 403 bad data. And you can obviously use that in here as well. So if I wanted to, I could just say var test just to show you, and you could say results dot match. I'm just going to return a bool from here for now. And then what you do is you have to handle each state. So you would say when it's successful, do this. When it's an error, you would do this. Oh, if I could type, sorry, 1 second. You would do that. And when it's a validation, you would have the other thing that you do. You finish that. And then what you would need to do, just because it needs to return a value in each of these, I'll just return true from these and false from this, for instance. So it's not particularly useful in this scenario. I'd probably just use the isSuccess flag. But as you can see, if you on an API, it's a very useful pattern to use. So yeah, that was just a quick one. I just wanted to show you how you would do that. I'll probably just show you this running quickly. If we were to do that quickly, just delete that, and you'll see that that should run in exactly the same way. Yeah, and we get exactly the same output. So yeah, quick and short one today. Just wanted to show you that something I use quite a lot, and the exception thing is something I spot all the time. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.